Hello students, welcome back to our English class. Students, do you remember what we have learned in the last class? Yes, we have learned a poem, The Children's Are, and it was written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow about a particular time of evening. Yes, I hope you are remembering it. And in that poem he spends his playful time with his 3 daughters, and also the poem talks about the father's deep affection for his children. Okay, so in this video we are going to look at part 2 of it, chapter 1 poem part 2, and we are going to write the remaining class works and also going to look some of the book exercises. Got it? So before writing our work, let's check our homework. All of you open your homework note. Answers for previous homework. Fill in the blanks. In this poem, the poet conveys the affectionate bond that he shares with his children. I have checked your homework which you have sent to me. Most of you has written the right answers, but if anyone did any mistake, please correct it now. Second one, the poem is set about a particular time of the evening. According to an old legend, Bishop of Bingen was a cruel and oppressive ruler who was eaten alive by mice in his mouse tower. The children embrace their father and cover him with kisses. This makes him to think about the Bishop of Bingen. The children were plotting and planning together to take their father by dash surprise. Okay, all of you check the answers, check the spellings. Okay, after checking, all of you take your classwork note, take the classwork side. Let's continue in writing the classwork. Reference to the context. In your book, page number 25, you can see the questions there. Till I think of the Bishop of Bingen in his mouse tower on Rhine. So let's see the question. What do the children do to make their father think of Bishop of Bingen? Okay, the பிள்ளைங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க அவங்க அப்பாவுக்கு அந்த பிஷப் ஆஃப் பிங்கனை ஞாபகப்படுத்துறதுக்கு. Okay, so what did they do? They were just hug and gave kisses to their father. So and that thing makes the author to think about the Bishop of Bingen. Next one. What do you think happened to the Bishop of Bingen? Use clues from the poem to answer the question. So in the last video I have explained it in detail, and the Bishop of Bingen was a cruel ruler and he was eaten alive by the mice in his mouse tower. So now let's see the answers. What do the children do to make their father think of the Bishop of Bingen? The children embrace their father and cover him with kisses. This makes him think about the Bishop of Bingen. Next one. What do you think happened to the Bishop of Bingen? Use clues from the poem to answer the question. Okay. Hatto II, Bishop of Bingen. Hatto is the name of the bishop. Was a cruel and oppressive ruler who was eaten alive by mice in his mouse tower. Okay, so all of you write it down in the classwork. Children, write neatly. Write the correct spellings. So if you have written, let's move on to next classwork. All of you write today's date before writing this. In the previous class we have written new words, synonyms, antonyms, and in continuation of this you have to write this reference to context. So let's move on. Let's write answer the following. First question: as they climb down the staircase, what are the children planning to do? How does the father know this? Let's see the answer. As they climb the staircase, the poet knows that the children plan to surprise him in his stay by entering through the 3 doors left unguarded. He knows this because he could hear their whispers and imagine their merry eyes as they plot and plan their surprise. Okay, as the children they were climbing the staircase, what the children were planning to do, and how does the father know this? That is the question. So when the children they were climb the staircase, அவங்க படிக்கட்டில் ஏறும்போது the poet knows that the children were planning to surprise him by entering through 3 doors left unguarded. திறந்திருக்கிற அந்த 3 கதவு வழி அந்த பிள்ளைங்க வராங்க. He knows this because he could hear their whispers and imagine their merry eyes as they plot and plan their surprise. Write it down, write neatly, don't make spelling mistakes. So next question: why do you think the poet refers to this time of the day as the children's hour? Okay, so அந்த ஈவினிங் டைமை ஏன் children's hour, குழந்தைகளின் நேரம் அப்படின்னு வந்து அவர் சொல்றாரு. The answer is, the poet refers this time of the day as the children's hour because every evening around this time he puts the daily occupations of his life aside to spend time with his children. So he says the evening time as the children's hour because that was the time that he could spend time with his children. So write it down, children. No one should leave a note with incomplete. Everyone should maintain your classworks neatly and it must be completed. Okay, once when you come to our school we will check your classworks as well as your homework note, so you should maintain it neatly. So write fast. If you have finished, let's move on to the third question. Compare and contrast the behavior of two adults in the lessons that you have completed. The king in The Little Prince and the father in this poem. Who is more comfortable with children? Why do you think so? Okay, so we have learned two lessons. One is the lesson and another one is the poem. So in the first lesson, The Little Prince, we have seen about a king, and in the poem we have seen a father. So now we have to say the answer, who is more comfortable with children. Okay, as you knew the story, you guess who is very comfortable with the children and why do you think so. Let's see the answer. The poet is more comfortable with children than the king in the previous lesson. This could be because the poet is a loving father, whereas the king is a lonely ruler without any family. The poet is more comfortable with children than the king in the previous lesson. This could be because the poet is a loving father, whereas the king is a lonely ruler without any family. So students, that's all for your today's classwork. If you have finished, take your book. Let's see some of the book exercises. From the book, today we will have today's homework. Okay, so let's move on. So today's homework is from your book, page number 18, 19 and 20. So all of you open your book to page number 18, chapter 1, page number 18. So there you can see work with words. Have you find? Work with words. Circle the word or words which are exactly the same as the ones in bold. So first one, A, exclaimed, and you have to find, there are many words and the words were different from each word, so you have to find which word is exactly same and the opposite side. Okay, explained. And exclaimed and options: exclaim, explain, explanation, exclaimed, explained, exclaims. So you have to read each word and you have to find which word is exactly same as the ones in bold. Okay, so this is one of the homework. Mark it and do. Let's move on to next page, page number 19, synonyms and antonyms. So what is synonyms? Synonyms are the words that mean exactly or nearly the same. Synonyms means meanings. ஒரு வேர்டோட மீனிங் அது வந்து எக்ஸாக்ட் மீனிங்காக இருக்கலாம், அல்லது அது கூட ஒரு சம்பந்தப்பட்ட தொடர்புடைய இன்னொரு வார்த்தையாக இருக்கலாம். ஓகே, எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ்: strange meaning odd, respect meaning regard, courage meaning bravery. Okay, next, antonyms. Antonyms are words that mean the opposite of each other. Antonyms means opposite. Examples: strange opposite ordinary, respect opposite disrespect, courage opposite cowardice. Okay, there also you will have your homework. Read the words in column 1, that means the word. Find their synonyms from the story and fill in column 2. Match each word in column 2 with its antonyms in column 3. Okay, so here you can see in first column there is words, and second column there is synonyms, and the third column there is antonyms. So in the example you can, I'll just read out king. First the word king is there, and the synonym, the meaning of king is monarch. Okay, and the opposite of king or monarch is subject. So you have to mark it there. Do you understand? So for all the words you have to find the meanings, synonyms, and you have to find the antonyms of it. This is also your homework. So I have 2 homeworks. You have to do by your own. Let's move on to next. Learn grammar in same page number 19. Noun as the subject and object. So what is noun? Yes, you know, noun is a naming word, and we can use the noun as subject as well as object. Okay, noun as subject avum use pannalam, object avum use pannalam. We will see. Look at this picture and answer the given questions. Okay, this is the picture. Who is eating? And next one, what is being eaten? So in this picture, one person is eating, and you have to name the person, who is that person, and what is being eaten. So 2 names were there, and you have to say it. Okay, first one, the boy is eating the cake. What is being eaten? The cake. Okay, so the answer to the first question, who is eating, is the subject, and the answer to the second question is the object of the sentence. So in one sentence there will be subject as well as object. ஒரு sentence எடுத்துக்கிட்டேன்னா அதில் subject இருக்கும், அதில் கடைசியில் objectும் இருக்கும். So in this sentence the answer is the boy is eating the cake. The boy is subject, and eating the cake is an object. Okay, so you can read there. A noun or pronoun can be the subject of the sentence. A subject is the person, place or thing that performs the action. The object is the noun which receives the action done by the subject. Okay, so subject is ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ்ல எப்பவுமே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இருக்கும். Okay, and that means the name of the person, place or verb refer பண்ணி இருக்கிற first one தான் subject. Okay, and the object is also the noun which receives the action done by the subject. So let's see. Let's turn the next page. Page number 20. Identify the subject. So subject refers to, S refers to subject, and object in each of the following sentences one has been done for you. Okay, in page number 20 you can see. All of you open your book to page number 20. The prince loves sunsets. Okay, so subject is prince and the object is sunsets. Okay, so the name of the person is Prince, that is the subject, and the action receives. Okay, so the last one, which is sunset, is the object. So S refers to subject, O refers to object. So there are the remaining things, that is your homework. B, C, D, E. Okay, B, Neha has lost her favorite purse. You have to find which one is subject and which one is object. The principal will reward the deserving students. And D, my parents seldom watch television. And then the audience appreciated the talented actor. Okay, so the remaining part is your homework. Next, use each of the following nouns in a sentence as a subject. Make another sentence using the same noun as an object. Okay, so there are some of the words given. ஒரே ஒரு வார்த்தை கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க, அந்த வார்த்தையை வச்சு நீ சப்ஜெக்டும் எழுதணும், ஆப்ஜெக்டாகவும் அந்த வேர்டை யூஸ் பண்ணணும். ஓகே, ஹியர் எக்ஸாம்பிள் family, the word family has given, and in subject la my family has 6 members. So family word object use பண்ணனும்னா I love and care for my family. So I hope you have understood what is subject and object. There are 5 words are there: darkness, wisdom, bakery, beauty and music. So using these words you have to write subject and object. ஓகே, இதில் இருக்க அந்த வார்த்தையை சப்ஜெக்டாகவும் யூஸ் பண்ணணும், ஆப்ஜெக்டாகவும் யூஸ் பண்ணணும். அண்ட் that also your homework. Okay, so from book page number 18 to 20 there are 1 2 3 4 homeworks. You have to complete it and you have to click a photo of it and you have to send it to me through WhatsApp with your name and class. Okay children, that is all for today. So we will meet soon with next lesson in next video. Until then, thank you. Take care.